pulled up.
Okay, cool. All right, so welcome, guys. This is our podcast where we're going to be talking about the making of SS Wayne. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and pause it. Go watch that first. Nothing we say here will make sense if you don't know what SS Wayne is. Yeah,
Spoilers.
There will be spoilers.
Trigger warning.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
But
Spoilers.
yeah, so just to go ahead and kick us off, everybody, like from here down, we're going to just introduce ourselves and say like what we did on set. So my name is Parks. I played Wayne and also did some behind the scenes footage.
My name's Kaysen. I played Kaysen, and I was the assistant director.
My name is Lance. I recorded sound.
And also skipped Eric. My name is Eric. I was a director. Writer-director.
I thought you should go last.
Yeah,
I mean,
save the best for last.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
that's good. That's fine.
I had a plan.
Yeah, it's all according to plan. So, pretty much, Eric, you want to just go ahead and talk to us about like the inspiration for the movie and
Inspiration?
just the writing of it.
Well, pretty early on, I knew I wanted to stop messing around with shorts and make a feature length, something that was feature length. So, with like a super micro budget. So in order to do that, it took a long time to write, but wrote around what resources we had. And just got inspired mainly by like the locations and stuff, and actors and things that I knew I had.
So what location specifically?
The ranch in Cleveland mainly, and then like I knew a few people around there who like had like camp houses and things like that, and like the garage, stuff like that.
So did the locations like inspire the movie, or were you did you write the movie around the locations?
Definitely, I don't know, like I had like a basic outline of a story, and then the locations kind of worked with it to, because those are the resources that we had. We didn't have like some studio backlot or something. We had the little lake and river and stuff.
So real quick, what exactly is SS Wayne about?
So it follows this little group of kids. It's like a corny like fairy tale like story of like kids looking for like gold or looking for whatever. But it takes place in this like it's set in like this real reality, even though it's kind of fantastical and fictional.
Cool. And then as far as characters, what were some of your inspirations for the characters? And
I knew I wanted them to just be like a mixed bag of personalities, but definitely still like teenage and kind of like angsty and like weird and awkward. And that, like I said, like working with your resources, I didn't have access to like these great actors that are going to be good on camera. I had like a group of kids that have never been in front of a camera, so it's like weird for them. So when you see them in the movie, it's like they're weird on camera. Like they do angsty, like weird, awkward stuff on camera because they're not actors, but those are the characters that they're playing, and they just didn't know it.
Do you remember whenever at the table read and Colton was like, I picture my character with a scar.
Like stupid stuff like that. I don't know. But I think maybe they had big ideas of what the movie was going to be, but it ended up being something they had no idea. But I remember the table read we did over here, and over there. A little bit up. Yeah, I remember that.
So pretty much, what was your inspiration for the character of Wayne?
Character of Wayne. In Apocalypse Now, Marty Sheen plays a character named Willard, and he's like this, I don't know, you don't know a whole lot about him, but like what he displays on screen is very like real, and he's the only character in Apocalypse Now that I thought was like real. The rest of them are kind of like mythological and like Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness, but his is like the one that's like the reality. So in SS Wayne plays a bit of Willard, but he also plays a lot of what's his name?
Yeah.
I don't remember what his name is in the movie.
But Marlon Brando's
Yeah,
character.
Marlon Brando's character. So Wayne's like a Marlon Brando, but he's really Willard. And so Colton's character, Tommy, same thing. Like it's Willard, but they're both, that's probably the inspiration behind it. I was watching Apocalypse Now probably 2 or 3 times.
And then Tommy, main character. What was your inspiration for him?
Willard, same thing. Like it's like
Did you have an idea of who like you were gonna cast before you when you were writing it?
not really. I knew they had to be kids, obviously, like teenagers, and I knew I didn't want like kids that were from Houston or like from Austin or like a big city. I wanted them to be kind of like from around here.
Why not? Why didn't you want like big city?
Kind of for like a look, and also for like a persona, and then in a practical sense because we're filming it in the blistering cold and like the water and like the mud and like it's just like a nasty like dirty process.
Yeah, those city kids ain't gonna.
Yeah, well,
for long. They're gonna
like
some eventually.
And it's also like it's a bit of a drive, so I mean, pick up some kids from here that want to do it, and I mean, it worked out.
Yeah. It gives it a little bit of authenticity too.
It has a bit of it's a lot of charm and authenticity, and I knew a lot of those kids, so I didn't have to establish a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I knew most of them.
Yeah. So. Go.
So like talking about the cold and like how the actors kind of had to be ready for it. Let's like talk a little bit because obviously we had to work on the water. We had to work in like mud and cold, but like I don't really think it shows on screen how like bad or
Dude,
like
that's why
challenging the environment was when we were filming.
That's why I want more behind the scenes footage.
No,
I just want to see it. I don't care about like huge documentary or something crazy. I just want to I want to watch it. I want it all to be cut together so I can watch it, because it was like a real struggle and a real pain, and that was like the longest shoot that we've all been on. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was just like a real like
By
every day is a new struggle.
By the end of the day, you're like soaking wet, covered in mud,
tired,
shivering, tired,
hungry.
Yeah. Nah, I could eat like a mother. After a shooting day, man.
Yeah.
And it was all day, like, because like it's just we had to.
Yeah.
It was all day, and then after the day was over, I was like, all night I was like, okay, well tomorrow we got to do this, and I don't have this, and I need this.
Right.
And then all these people are coming here depending. Yeah.
Really.
I would legit like we would be shooting here, and it would be like we would do a night shoot, and then the very next morning it'd be a morning shoot, and I would just sleep in costume, like I would just keep it on, or just like have an extra layer.
Like I was saying, that's the movie though. Like the kids are like dirty and nasty, and they're in it. They're in the shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that kind of really helped give the movie like its like certain kind of grit. Is that like over the course of these kids' journey, they're like kind of developing their own kind of calluses. Yeah. Just based off the environment, and the same thing with like the filming is like
exactly because none of them have made a movie before. They don't know.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a whole process, and you change as a person, and you make all these friends and stuff during the process, and that's exactly what the movie is. And for like people that are trying to write movies and do stuff like this, like it's hard, but you have to kind of keep those things in mind, and the only way that you will is if you just mess up and do one without doing it. And then now we know, like, hey, that's part of the process is X, Y, and Z.
So what is
specific mess ups? Let's hear specific mess ups, because that's I think what a lot of kind of younger filmmakers will find most interesting. I'll say first of all, one thing that wasn't even necessarily a mess up, but just something we had to get around was like equipment shitting out.
I was gonna say I broke my camera.
Right, you have to be prepared for, like, literally have a plan B. Like, okay, if this camera shits out and stops working,
no batteries. We're in the middle of the woods. Microphones. Microphones being dipped in the water.
I didn't even know how.
I know.
Tell
you were like this, and I was like,
I don't think there's any BTS footage of that. So just tell us what happened.
Yeah, explain
from your point of view, what happened with the mic?
With the microphone dipping in the water.
Yeah.
Well, I was tottering on a
boat?
rowboat.
On a boat that was sinking.
That was sinking. Had a hole in it, and we had like Probably me, Eric,
like 4 or
and
5. By the end of by the second or third week, we had realized, hey, this boat has a hole in it. We can't put 10 people in this. We can only put like 2. So Thomas and Lance, y'all go with the actor and just go, and I'll just trust y'all from
Yeah.
back here.
Well, and my arms were getting tired, and yeah, I'm gonna like have a little rest period.
Yeah.
And one time,
I tried.
it
Dude,
just dipped in the water.
I tried
So
to,
be it.
I tried to get it out of there as fast as I could.
Yeah. No. And
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think you noticed. You just turned around and it was dipping a little in the water. I was fishing there for a little bit, and you just
I know.
grabbed it as fast as
Oh,
possible,
man.
and
It still worked. I mean,
well,
try to wipe
it's
it off.
a lot easier to like continue production if you dip a mic in the water and maybe the mic's fucked up than if we would have dipped that camera in the fucking water.
that was just like,
So, specifically the day that the mic got dipped in the water, and
Uh-huh.
that scene specifically, that was like I think the first time that on set we started to notice people were getting a little bit demoralized.
Yeah.
So
what day was that? I don't
That
even-
was like-
it was.
I don't remember.
I think it was like the last day of the
It was
first
towards the-
stretch.
yeah,
right.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like probably like day 4 or 5.
Yeah, no, I think I might be wrong on that on the timeline. But
I don't remember.
so here's another thing. Say you're talking to a younger filmmaker.
Okay.
How do you deal with like a demoralized cast and crew?
I think.
Because like there's gonna be rough days on set, or there's gonna be days where things don't work out exactly
Yeah.
how you want them to.
I think the obvious answer is when it's freezing cold, you
Take your shirt off.
Take your shirt off.
Yeah. No.
No,
so,
you're wrong and also right. I think, in my opinion, because when you're making something that involves and you're involving other people in something that's yours or whatever, you have to go into it with the right attitude. So whether it's like a silly, goofy attitude where you can't just be mad, and you can't, even if you are mad, you can't show it because it reflects. It's just like
Right,
sports.
yeah.
It's just like in sports where they say like to not have your head down when you make a bad play or something. It's the same way because it's contagious.
yeah, people
Your
people
attitude.
see.
Yeah.
I think something that stuck out to me a lot with this like production was that like we were all kind of friends. Like obviously us,
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
friends before, but also, we became friends with the actors
Yeah.
and like other crew that like came along, and it was like it would be hour 5 of an 8-hour shoot, and we're cold and wet
Yeah.
and muddy, and then someone like just say something stupid
Something,
and crack
yeah.
a joke, and
Yeah.
I don't know, you just keep joking, and you keep reminding yourself that it's like at the end of the day, this is not like
Yeah.
this isn't the oil field. We're
Yeah.
making a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
right.
yeah. You have to just keep saying this. Yeah, it's just a movie. It's
Yeah, it's
for fun.
so
it's serious.
right.
But it's fun. Like it's a fun thing to
Right,
do.
right.
And you're blessed with the like ability and to be able to do it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that's I think something I may have taken for granted a little bit because I would get frustrated. But I mean, we was all blessed to have that opportunity to do that.
And then what about times where, you're on set, you're shooting a scene, and you realize like, oh, we need to change something about like
Yeah, this scene's
how this
too
is written
short,
or
or-
how
I think I was horrible at preparation. I'm still getting better at it. But I think a lot of times in that, I would halfway know in the morning or in the afternoon. Like, I would know hours before, like, hey, I don't have this prop, or like, this person's probably not going to show up, or like something like that. So I would have like an idea cooking in my head of how I was going to work around it.
Yeah.
And then we'd get to shoot it, and I'd be like, yeah, I need to fix this now. Like, it has to be. So as long as you, like, I think, do as much preparation as you possibly can
Right.
yes,
before, like, all pre-production stuff. Like,
yes.
just have every little thing, like, in mind, like the weather,
and
everything.
I think that the preparation shows in the actual like
Yeah.
film itself. Like, for example, the scene that we spent the most time preparing,
Yeah.
the party scene,
Yeah. It's one of the best ones.
is one of the I'd say
dopest
it's
shot, yeah.
the best
It
one.
has one of my-
It's beautiful. Like, it's beautifully shot. It's like the set
Colors
design
are
is
cool.
super like
Yeah.
thorough, and
And the
And
part
before that, we were running around like chickens with our heads cut off, trying to get
no,
everything
yeah,
together.
yeah.
Just like shooting, we're like, all right, this part of the woods, we're shooting in this part of the woods.
Well,
And we're moving all the
Yeah.
people to one side of the room, so it looks
Yeah.
like there's 20 people there, but there's
Yeah.
only like 8.
Yeah.
The party scene too. It was nice too because it was really fun to shoot, and it was.
So
I mean, it's a
fun.
party. You can't have a party scene without throwing like kind of a party.
Yeah.
And so we had like shot for like 4 hours a day, like the that morning before,
Yeah.
and then spent the rest of the day like
Just prepping that because
Prepping.
we knew it was a big thing.
yeah, and like I don't know. I feel like that was
That's preparation.
that wasn't even
And people-
a shoot at that point. It was
Even like extras and like photographers and just people
like,
that showed up, like
yeah, this is fun.
they
right.
well, whenever they would show up, they would make comments about, oh, damn, like,
Oh, this is
like
a
they-
movie.
No,
Yeah.
they,
Because-
they seemed impressed. Yeah,
Like I said, I don't want to like downplay anyone's work, but eventually you have to realize that's part of my reason for doing this is because you have to eventually, as a filmmaker, you have to realize I can combine all 10 of my short films and make a movie. Like,
Yeah.
don't just keep making short films. Make a feature length film, even if it takes you longer, or whatever it is. Just make a movie. Don't mess around with short films because you have the resources to do it. You just have to
right.
figure it out.
Well, and it's like it's a lot more common. Okay, I forgot who I was talking to yesterday, but somebody I was talking to yesterday at like this get together, they were saying, "Oh, I got this little thing on the side that I'm doing, and I have this blah blah blah," and he named like 10 different things that he does, and I think that like a big mistake that a lot of creatives make nowadays is like trying to put, because you only have so many hours in the day, you only have so much like creative juice
Youth.
when you only have so much time, and like I think it's a lot better to put all your marbles into one like project and say, all right, we're gonna go all in on this project for this year, and then rather than having like a million different smaller things that you do, and granted,
I think
a short film is good for testing an idea,
Yeah.
but like
I think you should always, if you're writing a short film, I've always thought this way. I think it should always be enough there in the short film to where it could be a feature.
or a scene in a feature,
Yeah,
like
one scene. Like if you're gonna sit down and write one scene and then shoot it and put it in a festival, you should have, maybe you don't have the whole screenplay, but you should have the ideas and the outline of, okay, someone wants to buy this idea from me. I need to have a screenplay.
Right.
Like, nobody's
Yeah.
buying a short film because they want a short film. You can't.
Yeah.
It's a movie. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah, you practice short films and stuff like that. But I think don't waste your time on an idea if you're not going to have a full thing. I think.
Or yeah, if you're not willing to like if
Yeah.
making an entire movie about it would not interest you,
Then
then
do something
maybe
else,
maybe don't do a short film
Sit
over
on
it.
it, whatever.
But like how many short films had you done before?
very.
Like, so we had done Lone Star Harry,
Lone Star
which
Harry.
was about
Well, we did-
15 minutes.
We did Priorities, which was
There's
a
a bunch.
student.
There's a
short
bunch
did a
of
bunch
like
of student films.
There's probably like 5 student
The
ones.
Clappening.
There's like
Clappening.
5 student ones, and then Lone Star Harry, and then SS Lane. You know, and it's like
Yeah.
I did the short film thing when I was in school, and then I got out of school and then started working in Houston on different smaller productions, and then I realized, oh, these people aren't sitting around waiting. Like they're not going the festival route like it's like 2003. These motherfuckers are like making their own movie and putting it online and like
Yeah, DIY.
watch it. Yeah.
DIY.
And
Just
I'm
like
in my head I'm like, well, I have the same stuff they have. I have, why can't I do this? And then
Yeah.
we wrote it and did it.
instead of like making excuses of like I don't have X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
therefore I can't start. It's like I do have
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
what
A, B,
I can
C,
do
and
right
so
now.
Yeah.
let's just go ahead and start.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You talked about like filming in Houston and stuff. How did that like did that inspire you to make your own, just seeing how simple
Yeah.
it was?
I think I've always wanted to, but I didn't know like if it was possible, or I didn't really know a way to do it. And then working with them, I was on set with them like every weekend for like months, and just seeing their process and the way they go about it, and how loose and on the fly everything is with them, and like how they're able to, oh, we need this, call such and such, and they'll come over and bring this, and like I was like, okay, well, I can do that on our scale, on our terms over here.
Right.
It definitely inspired me. Yeah.
One thing that was cool about the production is, like, you guys made your own dolly.
Yeah, it's right there.
So like, just
Yeah.
how long did that take? Like,
Okay, so
I forgot about
because
that.
it was.
I
Listen,
forgot completely about the
I'll
doll.
say, like,
It
that was
adds
a
a-
huge boon.
No,
to
that
the,
was.
to
So,
the professionalism of
I
the.
wanted, before, when I was writing the movie, I really wanted to rent one. And I'd seen them being used on different sets, but I'd never actually used one. And I was just obsessed with, like, the classical look of push-ins and, like, trackings and things. And I was just, it just obsessed, like, it was just, and I needed one. But to rent it, I think we had the original idea of going to Austin and renting one, and it would cost like $500 a week or something. And I was like, if I do that, like, you know what I mean? I gotta drive over there and get it and bring it over here, and I've never used it before, and
And
you have to
then-
have
Yeah.
insurance.
And then once you're done with it, it's
Yeah.
not yours.
Exactly.
Versus making that initial
Yeah,
investment
yeah.
of building it yourself, and then now.
So this one, we had most of the material. The actual dolly itself, not the track, but the actual dolly is like a sawhorse that you like put to and then put wood to like cut wood. It's a sawhorse. And then the chair, I already had the chair. It's a stool for like a mechanic stool, but I took the bottom out and drilled it into the sawhorse. And then the only thing that I actually bought was I bought from Walmart. I bought two like roller skates, like the kids roller skates, and took all the.
How much did that run you?
They were like $20 each, so like $40, and then like some hardware.
Oh, okay.
And I took the skates and like did them in like a, I don't know, like a shape like this, and then with the thing, and then screwed it to the bottom, and then put it on the track, and it rolled.
Yeah, and it was actually like really
Pretty well
smooth.
built.
Yeah, it
it's
was
pretty
very
well built.
smooth.
There's like a little bump in it because
Right,
you have
'cause-
to put two tracks together, but it's
Right.
pretty smooth.
But even like real dollies,
Mhm.
Right.
does this one have any like limitations that
I
that
mean,
one does?
So-
distance and
Yeah,
well,
you have to build more track. Like, say we wanted to, have like a 50-foot run, like you just need more track.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Does it have like
It doesn't-
railways that you can go off an angle?
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
I
what I'm
feel
saying.
like that would be kind of helpful.
That's just the track though. It's not the dolly. We could
Right.
build the track. I wanted to have. This is probably my next thing for it. If we work on it more, I want to get like those tractor tires, like the small ones, that are like on the lawnmower.
Yeah.
But the ones that you put air in, and put 4 of them on there, but where they're like this and they'll slide out, so you can fold them up and use it on the track, or fold them down, and you can use it on grass. I think it's about to
Dang.
rain.
yeah, no, the dolly it added like every shot that had like a dolly in it, it just kind of added that little motion, even if it was
Yeah.
a short kind of
Small,
pan
yeah.
or whatever. The scene that I always think about is a scene where they pull up to Tommy's house, where it took like a lot of coordination with the
Yeah,
truck and the
just for that
dolly
one.
and
It's like less than
and
a
panning
second.
back out.
I always think of the beginning of the party scene.
Oh yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. That one's.
No,
good.
I think
definitely
my favorite
yeah.
shot in the whole movie though was like Wayne's walking through the party,
Track.
and it's like that. Yeah.
The Goodfellas track.
Oh man.
I want to say that was Thomas's idea. I think, because I don't remember how I wanted to shoot it before then.
Didn't we want to?
It's
For the
like
party
vibrating
scene-
the mic.
Oh, for the party scene, we tried to do what's it called, a Texas switch?
Yeah,
Because we had like, X amount of extras, and we were trying to squeeze the most out of every single person we can.
Yeah.
It's raining.
It's right.
And so we were gonna try to have someone operating
hell
the
no.
camera, switch them, and then have them appear
Be
in the
in
scene.
the very back. Because and that's what the spin around was. Yeah, I think it was like a culmination of all our ideas. Talking about that scene, I really liked.
Keep going.
Kaysen had the idea of the push in whenever Bertrand's talking to the girl.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah,
talking to
yeah,
Abby.
yeah.
The push in, I really like that.
Yeah, no, that one's a good one. The party scene was really fun too because like it was a lot of coordination. It was a lot of like,
Yeah.
okay, here, you move here at this point,
Y'all
and
run
then like
across the
whenever
screen.
he does this, you do that.
Yeah,
And I don't know. I just
If you obsess about a scene like that, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
it's gonna be good
Yeah.
because you can definitely see in the party scene like all the hours it took to like coordinate it, the set design we did, all of
It's dope.
the like extra kind of movements and stuff, and I think and we got a actual band, a punk band.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
So
we'll
here's
talk
another
about
thing.
that.
Here's another thing. Yeah, no,
There's
we're gonna
music.
say like one thing that I encourage all like young creators to do is like
Other people involved.
get a lot of other people involved, because also like in a project like this, like the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. If you can get somebody else invested in your vision, and also make it enticing for them, go to a local band and say, hey, we have this movie.
We'll use your song.
We'll use
Yeah.
y'all's song. This would be good exposure for you guys. Like, just like always be looking to like give value to other people, because like
Which is a trade-off thing.
it's,
Right,
a,
yeah,
it's a trade-off. And also like the creative, like doing work creatively is difficult. It is going to cost you some energy. It's going to cost you some time. And there are other people who are talented around you who you can like throw opportunities to, because we
Right,
we,
and
had,
also
we had
collaborative.
be collaborative, and also like really find a way to share your work. And because
I think also too, like, I don't really care if it's my project or not. Like, if somebody wants me to cut me in on this project and say, hey, I need your help with this, it's like,
Just because they thought of you.
right, just they thought of me, and they like respect me enough to
Your work,
to
yeah.
include me and rely on this, even if it's a small piece, but rely this piece of like this project on me. It's I don't know, it's like it's really encouraging, and
It's really cool, yeah. When someone thinks of you enough to include you
and
on their vision or whatever.
And also the thing about being out kind of in the location we were at is kind of remote.
Right.
It's like kind of far from like
Yeah,
Houston
anything.
and like all
Right,
the all the action and stuff. And so like the people who do show up and show out, like
Yeah.
it's like that's a friend, and that's
Yeah.
somebody who really like, I don't know, because we had one photographer show up, Isaiah, and he took some kick ass
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
BTS
great
photos.
Dude,
Posters.
that's just crazy because we're out there making it and we're just like, nobody gives a shit about
No, yeah,
this. Like,
nobody gives
we're
a
just making this because it's cool and we thought it's cool. We thought it was cool and it would
and
be fun to do.
We put out the DM,
Yeah.
and he pulled up. I don't know. It was huge. It was
was
awesome.
crazy. It was
like that was really encouraging to see, because
And-
that was kind of midway through the production where it's like,
And also here's the thing is like when you start something, you really have you have no idea what it's going to end up becoming for you and for other people. So like for
Yeah.
example, Isaiah came
Bless
out and he was like telling us like, dude, this is so dope, and he was like going on and on about how
yeah, you
cool
don't
it
really
was.
realize how big it
We
is.
up until that point we were like, what the fuck are we doing?
I hadn't-
Like,
yeah,
we're this
did
is
not
like
know.
this is
It
a
was
this is a
so-
farce. And then you get other people involved, and they kind of see it and
From the outside in.
from the
kinda,
outside
yeah.
in, and you kind of get a better idea of like, oh, this actually is something worth doing.
You're on set every
Right.
day, and you try this and it doesn't work, and you try this and it doesn't work,
Yeah.
and like the losses stack up.
But you get one win and then
Right.
after you have to do the next thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah,
right.
we just won that scene. We got to take. Okay, everyone come over here. We're about to do the next
Yeah,
one. Like,
yeah.
it's not like you get to just sit there in your glory all day long. Like your like head is spinning and you're trying to concentrate and figure things
Right.
out.
And the daily losses,
Yeah.
like they're not necessarily. It's about the spirit that you come at it with. Because if you come at it with the spirit of, hey, this piece of equipment shit out today, but we learned
Yeah.
don't do X, Y, Z.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Then it's not really a loss. It's like a trade off. Like
That was a big part of making the movie too. Is I knew, like, it's not going to be like some like Spielberg production, but I knew if we do this time next year, we'll know so much more.
Yeah, yeah.
Than we would have learned in school or like
Well,
would have
and I
learned on
think-
someone else's project.
I think we've always kind of been the kind of filmmakers and just like creatives that we're like, yeah, maybe I don't have this 100% planned out, 100% safe, but like I'm confident in myself and like
and us, each other.
each other that like if some shit goes wrong, we can
Figure it
figure it
out.
out. We can
Yeah.
figure something out.
Scary.
Yeah, and I mean that goes with the cameras, the
Yeah.
equipment, the locations, the script is like everything is like okay, hey guys, this is the problem. We got to figure it out, and we would, tie something together.
Harmony Korine, he compares like making a film to like going to war. He said like in his head he's like stressed and like sweaty and like anxious, and everyone's always like, oh, it must be so much fun making your movies, like they look like so much fun, and he's like, nah, it's like crazy, like it's like literally gearing up to go to war. And I felt like that the entire time. I was like, this is not. I mean, it's fun.
Because
that fun.
you'd be like asleep in the house or whatever, and then you'd have to put on all your gear.
Yeah.
You'd have to put on like 6 jackets.
Yeah, it's like 6 of us passed out in my sweaty room up there.
Yeah.
And then it's like 12 o'clock, and it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna sleep for like 6 hours, and then we're gonna wake up, and it's gonna be like 27 degrees, and we're gonna go shoot.
Get going.
Look, I don't know about you guys, but personally, like to me, the kind of like grittiness of the filming, it did make it a little bit fun. Because like
it felt like I was at like summer camp.
Yeah. And like nowadays, like modern worlds, we don't have like a ton of. You don't have as much like survival concerns, and so like when you are in your work, it is kind of like it's like almost like going to war in a sense. It's like it's like. That's when you get to go into like a survival mode of like trying to reach this like creative level.
Another thing too is like everyone I like worked with on the crew, I feel like a brother, like
right?
Because it's like we went to war with them.
Yeah,
I was sleeping with them.
You're in the trenches. You're in the trenches. Like
we were with them all day, every day for like months.
And so like I don't know. You would have these ideas about it. Like you first meet them and maybe you have these ideas, but like I don't know, like. There's nothing but like respect at the end of the production.
That's the part
it's just
that's
like
so cool.
Like we fucking
in the shit.
went through all this stuff together, and I mean we're out on the other side. And
that's the part that's so cool is seeing all those kids who you had like a relationship with, but now it's like they have like a look about them like they were in the like literally like war, like. You just see them and they just have that crazy look, and they're still in their character. Whenever I see them, they'll like say something from the movie. They say a line, and I'm just like, "Oh, bro, I remember that."
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
I want to talk about the actual filming of it a little bit more before we get into the post-production stuff. So, is there anything that you guys from the actual production itself?
Someone's awfully quiet over here.
Nah.
the
actual filming.
let's hear about it from the ears of the production.
ears.
Shoot, I was kind of a shadow the whole time within filming because I
Fly
had
on the wall.
Just headset on. I love, just like you were saying, gearing up. I had this excitement of adding more accessories, adding gadgets to my person because every day was just something else. Like I'm like, damn, need a pocket knife now at all times.
You would just be like,
Lance was
yesterday I need
It was like
Flashlight.
the radio operators in like World War II with like the big backpacks and like the antennas.
And he's running around. What are we gonna get, boss? It's like go over there. We gotta do this.
This is a nice flashlight. Need a better one.
I need a nighttime Lance always had that gear on him. He was like the gear guy.
You did say something about gear. Lance was the gear guy.
No, right. And I just switch out my backpacks a couple times and.
I had that the crossbody one.
Really, like there's times where you just can't really prepare for getting in the water with 8 people in one boat.
No,
it's
not
wild.
like a real boat either. We don't have it over here.
It's
not a real boat.
No.
Yeah, it's not even a dinghy, bro. It's like
2 rowboats.
Aluminum.
No, the craziest shot to me was 2 rowboats somehow strapped together. How did we do that again?
we had 2 like 2x4s on each end with like 4 C clamps. And
that was my invention also.
Your invention.
We all got in the boats. There was like 10 of us on set.
That was the first day.
Everyone. No way.
Yeah, it was.
No, that was like.
No,
it was very
not.
early in production.
That was the first week, but
that was the first week. But yeah, we all got on the boats, and as soon as we like left land, it was like we had like maybe like 1 paddle and like thousands of dollars worth of equipment on these boats, and
yeah, exactly. And
they're just falling apart.
And I saw that both before lifting off, and I was like, "This is gonna fall apart." I don't know when it's gonna happen, but maybe 2 minutes in, my bet was like maybe 3-4 minutes, we're gonna start losing stuff off these boats. But I just had to go with it because as long as we have the cameras on for the 50% of the time, then we may get something
get
cool
some
out
cool
of it.
stuff.
You may get
Cool out
something.
of it, yeah.
If we get out there, then
You get out there with all this crazy stuff in the conditions, and you have your cameras on for a few hours. You'll probably get at least
gonna
one
get
thing
something
that's
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I wish we did fall apart and then say, hey, we're out in the middle of the water. We might as well use our, mitts to row close to each other so we can get some cool footage.
The cool thing about it is the way the script is set up, and the way even some of the shots are like comprised or whatever, or made up, is it's like almost like a classical, like cheesy 80s movie script, and like even the dolly stuff, but it's like filmed in a very shitty documentary way by like shitty filmmakers that don't know what they're doing at all. That was the cool part for me, at least.
It's not that we didn't know anything at all. I think all of us have a general knowledge of what a decent movie is.
yeah.
The thing was, it was our first time testing all that knowledge.
Well, yeah, because I think
So
I
we're
think
separating the wheat from the chaff.
we kind of like, you kind of like see the water and you don't know how deep it is, and then you jump in and you're like up to your fucking neck, but you're like, might as well swim.
Figuratively
like,
or
guys-
literally?
Do you remember?
well, figuratively and literally.
One thing that I really appreciated about our style of filmmaking is it is very laid back. Like, you can have a loaded gun on set and kill a snake. You can.
You could even maybe have 2 loaded guns on the set.
Yeah.
After the first gun misses.
right.
There was a big ass snake one day when we were
Water
filming.
moccasin was poisonous.
No,
It was
threatening the
it was
crew.
a threat to the crew, and so we
cast.
had to pull out a gun and kill it. And then the good thing about having a loaded gun on set is what you kill with it, you can put in the movie.
Snake
There's
soup.
not. There's not really any blood or anything. I don't think. Spoiler alert.
No,
I
there's
don't
no-
think there's like.
But there
It's
is
not like
snake soup.
gory or anything. It's just.
No, it's not gory.
but
No.
There is a snake in
it's
the
a
movie.
snake in the movie. It's like, come on. I mean,
And then that led to one of the best lines in the movie, referencing
I gotta
Snape's
get some
soup.
of that steak
Snake
soup.
soup,
Yeah.
baby.
Wait, I gotta get some of that steak
oh
soup.
yeah, Lance, you didn't. You just said you recorded sound in the beginning. You didn't say you were in the movie, fool. You have one of the coolest lines.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my line.
Yeah, and it was improv. It was
totally improv.
improvisational,
Yeah, right.
which is cool.
No,
Which is
I
cool.
love being a part of, the other side of the shot.
Mhm.
I like being in
I
camera,
don't,
whether it's like being some extra or
How do
having
you-
like.
How do you go about developing your character whenever you're going to be on screen?
Oh, I really just because I like to replicate how I'm gonna act
Mhm.
by somebody else that I know personally.
Different reference point.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Who did you take a lot of inspiration from your role?
For your
From the extra that
Yeah.
had one line.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I saw a lot of like Leonardo DiCaprio, like Revenant, like I
Yeah.
saw a lot of that like
Oh.
fire, like you
Yeah.
wanted that Oscar really bad, and you
Yeah.
just like see you're gonna do anything
Poured
you
his
can
heart
to
out
get
on
it. No,
screen.
he did. It was inspirational.
The camera
Every
loves you, by
take-
the way.
No, the camera does love
It
you.
always loves me. It's we have this relationship where I just be myself,
Yeah.
and in return I look gorgeous and speak with perfect English.
Speak with elegance on screen.
Right.
And wit,
I got to get some of that snake
Charisma.
soup.
snake
yes.
soup. Yeah, snake soup, man.
He delivers the line once, and Eric's like, "Cut! That's the one."
No. It's like I'm looking for someone to play the role, and he's like in the background, like just like saying it to himself, and I'm like, where is he?
Yeah,
Gotta
yeah,
find
The
him.
12th man.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
the
You
12th
can play. You
Toss
Get him in, get him in.
Get him in. Right here.
Anything else from production that is that we want to cover before moving forward?
I would say. No, I don't have anything.
Okay, so moving into the post-production side of things. Also, if anything comes up
Yeah.
that you guys remember, just go ahead and
Sure,
shout it out.
Sure.
But so, tell us a little bit about the editing.
I edited it myself, and it was horrible, and I hated it. I hated it. I hated every second of it. It took me so long. I just don't like editing. I don't know why. I'm just not very good at it. I've never like.
Well, I'll also say when it's like you're editing a project that is, I mean, it's a feature length film.
Yeah.
it's like every single cut, every single like
Yeah.
I don't know, every moment is like
It's so
geez, I have
overwhelming.
so much more to go.
It's so overwhelming. And I don't know. I don't like being like in a dark room, like, you know what I mean? I can't do it. Whenever I was writing it, I wrote all of it out here, like outside, and you can't edit outside. I'm gonna walk around with a computer in my hand.
It gets hot.
No, it does.
Yeah, you
Bitch,
get
it gets
hot.
hot. Yeah.
No, but the editing process, my process was, I would wake up as early as I could, which was usually like 7, 8, sometimes maybe 9, and then it would just be coffee, computer. Sometimes I would have like some Brian Eno or something playing on the TV.
Word.
So, you know, like
Music for
I would
airports.
have
Yes,
something
sir.
like that playing,
Nice.
and then
It's
it would be
great.
on the TV, and then I'd be computer, and I'd probably go 3 hours without looking up, and then I'd maybe have some breakfast or like
Without
something to eat,
You crawl out of your
crawl out
Cave.
of my, yeah. And then I don't know, after that,
So why didn't you just hire some Discord nerd to do it?
because the film has like a charm to it's like, in theory, yeah, you're like, I'm gonna get someone to do this for me, and why would I do this?
Yeah.
But
well,
when you're shooting it, you have ideas of like cuts and stuff. Even whenever you're writing it, you're like, oh, this is gonna cut well with this, and then like this music is gonna do this, and I need this sound or stuff like, I don't know. It's
also I can say from experience, when you are shooting kind of on the fly, just
Yeah.
kind of shooting by feel, it's a lot easier to just edit yourself instead of explaining to someone, hey, this
Yeah.
shot that I did, like I want you to do this exact same
Yeah.
thing, because like only you can really
I think-
see.
I think
That's
for
why you
first,
got to take notes while
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
filming. You
no,
gotta-
no,
you
that's
gotta
what
write
I'm gonna
these-
do in the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
Tom, I think I'm gonna get Thomas to edit the next one.
Fuck yeah.
Cut that out though.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't care.
Well, now you have to
we're
cut it. Now it's shaky as fuck. He's
Well, I
like,
don't want to talk about the next one while this. I mean,
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
I mean, you're giving a compliment
Yeah.
to somebody we work with. You're saying,
Well, and I'm not even talking about that. I don't care. But I'm talking about like the next movie. I don't want to talk too much about
Oh,
the
yeah,
next.
yeah.
oh
movie.
yeah,
I
no,
wanna
of
talk
course.
about this one.
Other than the fact that there will be one.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Shut
Yes.
And it's gonna be the best one you've ever seen.
Yeah, we just got Wes Anderson on.
Yeah.
I think Bruce Willis is gonna do it.
Lance is going to be the lead actor, obviously.
I actually have to hurry up and get out of this because I have a conference call with Tom Cruise too. So
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Um,
I'm joking.
oh shoot. And then okay, so one thing that a lot of younger filmmakers probably wonder is how do you export from Premiere Pro? No.
Don't ask me, bro.
No.
As YouTube.
No.
That's literally how I learned every single thing I know about editing, shooting, what stuff to buy, what stuff you don't need to buy. It's literally all YouTube.
YouTube.
People always ask me, and I'm just like, bro, I literally don't know anything. I know everything you know.
Yeah.
I just look it up on YouTube like that second that I think of it.
No, seriously. Like no, it's like
It's just such a great
you
tool.
don't have to be an editor to edit a movie. You literally
You have an idea of a cut or something, and you're like, how would I put this into words?
Yes.
And then you type it into Word. You type it into YouTube,
Yes.
and some asshole's done it,
and
and he knows how to do it.
I'm editing shit every single day, and there are times where I go, "How do I do that again?" And then you just you YouTube it.
I mean, it's bad practice, but it's there.
And well, okay,
It's
it's
not bad
like
practice.
it's only bad practice if you like just refuse to remember how to
Right.
do shit. But if
Right.
you, I mean, no, okay, granted, if you're like some high level editor at some studio or some shit and they catch you on YouTube, they might be a little pissed. But like, you know, I don't know. Anyways,
Well, I like there's no way you can do something without learning how to do it first.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's no shame in like.
and
I
how
don't know
many
to
how
do
many
it.
times have you been to a doctor's office and you catch the motherfucker on Google, like Google,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and they went to school for 8 years, so like, yeah,
it's better asking your sources than being like, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah,
I need
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
to do this for me.
Yeah,
Just do
yeah,
it your
yeah.
fucking self. Go on YouTube. Go on
Yeah.
Safari.
yeah, well,
You
yeah,
have all the sources.
definitely.
Yeah.
and it's better to admit that you don't know something, go search it. It takes you 15 seconds versus being like, no, I looked this up a month ago and I need to just remember it. Like,
Also, yeah.
and wasting time.
Also, what I said earlier was kind of rude. I didn't mean like, if anyone has questions on anything, you can ask me. But what I'm gonna do is, if I'm not too busy, I'm just gonna look it up on YouTube
Yeah.
and then like give you a good short explanation
Well,
or
yeah,
send
no,
you the
yeah,
YouTube
yeah,
video.
yeah.
Like because I don't know a whole lot. That's what I meant by that. Not
Yeah.
like fuck you, don't talk to me. Like not like that. Like if you guys have questions, if anyone has any
this is the
questions,
thing
they
is
can ask
Eric
me.
is big time now, so
No,
don't
no,
fucking
no.
waste his time
No,
with
no.
stupid questions.
No.
But it's like I only know as much as like I've learned from YouTube. So there's no
Yeah.
reason. It's just as quick for you to just look it up on YouTube
Yeah.
than it is for me to like maybe explain it
Yeah.
and do a shittier job
Yeah.
than this.
That's a quick disclaimer. Is like if you can teach yourself, you should try to do that first before you go. Because like, say you have a mentor in your life who knows a lot about a given thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to continually come to that person with the most fucking obvious questions. If you can teach it to yourself, you should do that, and then really reserve.
Or at least make an attempt to.
make an attempt.
to
make
try
an-
and learn something on yourself
and,
before you.
and then if you're
ask.
just totally stumped,
Yeah.
then you do the call a friend, because like you don't want to abuse like that
phone a friend.
person's
What's
like
that, Family Feud?
yeah
Or,
you don't want to abuse like because you I don't know
Who wants to be a millionaire?
If you do,
Yeah,
if you do go to the mentor, you have to say, "Hey, I tried to learn.
yeah.
I tried
Yeah.
something.
I tried
didn't
X, Y, and
work.
Z.
How'd you do this?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay, so and then one thing that I know for a fact a lot of the like younger filmmakers out there are not going to know how to do is like
Press record.
getting this thing, it's the big red button. Getting this thing onto streaming services. I know your experience
Well, getting
with
onto streaming services-
360.
And
Yeah.
just like finding a way to get it to an audience.
I can tell you what it's called. I can give you guys some free sauce. So what you want to do is, if you know someone that has movies out, then obviously contact them. But the middleman, I always compare it to like the way the music industry is now, how you can put stuff on Spotify and stuff like that. It's the same process. You have to find an aggregator. I think it's like AGGRATOR, something like that. That's the name of like the person or the business that does it. But they'll just take like a percentage of your royalties, and some of them cost money, but most of them don't cost anything other than the percentage. And from my understanding, it's like it takes a long time, and you have to do a lot of weird things to your movie.
You have to have a package essentially.
They're like deliverables,
Yeah.
and you can look that up online right now. Like you can just type in like Amazon Prime deliverables.
Was there any like changes you had to make to the movie, or like maybe the promotional material like, to
yeah,
get it certified?
For certain ones, you have to change the look of your like poster, and because sometimes they won't get accepted, so you have to make it a certain way, which is like, you know, it's just one of those things you kind of have to do. It's like just a sacrifice you have to make to get it out.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to make your poster like super weird and avant-garde, but you
Yeah.
can't. You have to, you know, kind of. But it's cool.
Well, I think that's one of like the like kind of building from the ground up like we did. It's like that's one disadvantage is like people you, like with a trailer. I think the worst trailers are the ones that tell the best joke in the trailer. They show the best scene in the trailer because
Yeah.
it just ruins it. But like that's the easiest way to sell your film.
And you
is
have to
just
do
put
it that way.
Right. Because we want to do some just like very artsy like.
But you can't. Yeah. Unless you
Yeah,
have
no.
your own like streaming service. But most of the time, you have to like conform and do things the way they want it to be done because they have a cookie cutter way of how their movies are.
Lance,
So-
you put out a little whimper. What was that for?
No, I think that when you say streaming service, we have a lot of things at disposable, like that are easy just to throw out,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't.
Like-
we just don't take advantage of these things like YouTube.
Yeah,
Right.
you can.
Just
I know.
toss that son of a bitch on YouTube.
I know.
Somebody out there is gonna watch it, or cut it up in parts, put it
Yeah.
on TikTok, put it on Instagram.
Yeah. Those are
Well,
all
no,
good options, but
yeah.
you have to pick one.
Yeah.
Like if you have it
Right.
on YouTube, then you can't put it on streaming anywhere else
Why is that?
because it's like that's just the way it is. It's like also if you
What about if I go to watch Fast and Furious on?
it's
on
pirated.
Damn
It's
Netflix!
pirated.
Look! I watched it on Netflix, and then it's on TikTok, cut up in parts.
Yeah, well,
Well,
you
that's
can do
piracy. You're just explaining
Look,
piracy to me.
I'm a big SS Wayne fan. I want to cut up in parts and throw it on TikTok.
Well, I'll
You can
give
do
you
that.
the hard drive, and you can do that, and just don't tag me in it.
So
I-
right now,
that's gonna lead to people watching it on
Yeah,
Amazon
yeah.
Prime.
I know. No, I get what you're saying, but that's just piracy.
No. But I think the difference is like you can cut it up as like promotional material, or even just like you like this scene, cut it up on TikTok. But I think you can't put it on like Amazon Prime and then the whole thing be also on YouTube.
Right.
It's illegal.
Because I think
Dude, we gotta cut
YouTube
this.
is like a short film
Yeah,
kind
we
of
gotta
thing,
cut this.
where it's like nobody's fucking watching it. Nobody's watching a short film on Amazon Prime, but
Right.
like I don't know, YouTube, you watch a little 5-minute short.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're running at about 52 minutes here. So
We're in the eye
got,
of the storm right now, also, guys.
No, yeah, the
We're out
weather
here on
hates
if
set.
this isn't a perfect analogy
The weather
for
hates us.
creating SS Wayne, I really don't know
It's
what
literally
is.
about to come down. We got to pack
But
the
so
stuff
look,
up.
guys, like,
Holy fuck! I just
This
had
is like the
slapped
Odyssey.
with a raindrop.
so hey, we're gonna go.
Okay, hurry.
We're gonna go around and like everyone. I just want you to give like your final thoughts on the movie, on the whatever. Just this is, say something that's career-ending.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Y'all go first.
Go
Hurry.
ahead, Parks.
All right, so I'll go first.
I'm getting slapped with these raindrops.
All right, I'll go first. So the shooting of the movie was a great learning experience. I was really blessed to be able to get to do it. Guys, if you haven't seen SS Wayne, go check it out right now. Kason?
Yeah, it was really fun to film, and it was a great time, and it was a great time with friends and family, and you should watch it. My short cameo. Thank you.
I had a lot of fun making the movie. Everyone involved, I love you guys. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
I had a lot of fun making the movie as well, and I think it was a beautiful made production by some inspiring filmmakers. We're gonna make some great shit in the future. Holla.
Let's cut.